I arrived in Utah's Bryce Canyon National Park on a Sunday afternoon with hopes of photographing some of the hoodoo amphitheaters before sunset. Before the sun got too low, I wanted to get set up for golden hour shots as well as the sunset itself. The next morning, I was back to grab some sunrise photos before the sun broke over the horizon. Once it did, it was bright and stunning as the rays shone down through the canyon and the cracks in the hoodoos. After a few more hours of shooting different spots, I headed back to Highway 12 and drove off the northeast. Utah Highway 12 is a designated an all-American highway. To earn that distinction, a highway has to meet several criteria for beauty, interesting elements, and much more. There are 37 all-American highways, and many consider Highway 12 to be at the top of that list. 124 of some of the most diverse and colorful miles you will ever drive. The highway starts just west of Bryce and travels to Capitol Reef National Park as it ends in the town of Torrey. The highway moves past Bryce and through the Escalante Grand Staircase, and it climbs up through aspen and pine forests in the Dixie National Forest and then back down into more colorful red sandstone as it ends in Torrey, where you turn onto the next spectacular road, Utah Highway 24. Highway 24 and 163 are the main roads that made up the rest of my trip, and they are beautiful as well. I planned this trip to hit as many beautiful and interesting places as I could on this route, and I think I succeeded. I am still in awe of all I experienced. Bryce Grand Staircase, Capitol Reef, Bentonite Hills, Moonscape Ridge, Goblin Valley, Black Dragon Canyon, Arches, Canyonland, Mexican Hat, Valley of the Gods, Gooseneck State Park, and Monument Valley. I cannot say what I loved the most. The Bentonite Hills really surprised me at how colorful it is and how much fun it was to hike around. I also really appreciated the experience of going into the backcountry of Monument Valley with the Navajo guide and seeing places that are sacred to their people. How to make a JPEG file look like a watercolor painting. The process begins by importing the raw file into a high-end processor like Adobe Camera Raw or Lightroom, where the primary objective is to maximize the dynamic range and establish a clean color grade. By adjusting the white balance, lifting shadows, and refining the tone curve, you create a balanced foundation that retains as much detail as possible before exporting to a high-quality JPEG. This JPEG then serves as the base for Adobe Firefly, using generative AI features like style reference or specific watercolor prompts. The software reinterprets the photographic textures into fluid brushstrokes and pigment bleeds characteristic of traditional painting. To finalize the piece, the image is brought back into Lightroom for a touch-up phase, where local adjustment brushes and color grading wheels are used to restore depth, enhance specific color pops, and ensure the digital painting has the professional contrast and vibrance of a finished masterpiece.